Myth Brigade, we are live. I'm pretty sure I've hit the buttons and there's all the flashing lights and the tinkering has been done. I don't think we have. Yeah, I don't think we have double audio. Do we? On the stream this
Not
time?
if I mute the stream, then I'm good.
Don't you?
It almost got me.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. All right. So we are here. Man, this is episode 6 of our Deadlands-ish campaign. And what this is about, well, hang on, let me back up. I'm doing this wrong. I'm doing this really wrong. I'm gonna turn on a little banjo music. There we go. Welcome one and all to Myth Brigade Saloon. Now I'm Marshal Timothy Y. Hall. Now, you fellas and gals have created yourselves some characters. Tonight, we're going to find out how you know each other, what you owe each other, and just what in the Sam hell this is about me having special gifts for you. We're going to do this in 3 steps. First, you're going to have a right quick summary of your character. Make it fast. We don't want to sit here. We don't need to know your shoe size, what kind of socks you wear, how often you shit your pants when you're drunk. What we need to know is your name, what you look like, and what would your friends know about you. Next, we're going to let you roll to decide the tides that bind you. I say roll to decide the tides that bind you. This part's going to let you add a little special touch to the story. It could mean something special happens to your character. Could mean you're all fucked up in some kind of way. It's up to you. It's up to the dice, actually. Finally, we're going to talk about why it is that you've been traveling together and why it is you might be in this neck of the woods, whatever that neck of the woods is. Then, we're going to call this lily-livered son of a bitch right ready for playing. We're going to jump right into episode 7, where the guns fly. Y'all ready for that?
Yeehaw.
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 Awesome. So let's start in the top right with Nate. Mike, quick introduction of your character. Who is Nate? What's he look like? And what do we know about him?
Yeah. So my name's Nathaniel Clifton, but the ladies call me Nate. Nate is a bit of a ladies' man, I guess. He's a little bit of a charmer, very charismatic, very smart and witty kind of a guy. More of an influencer. He's very much in building people up and in the rah-rah. He's that guy that'll give you that pep talk before the big fight. So he's a relatively handsome looking guy, about 6'1", light beard, probably
he's tall,
lighter than mine.
Yeah.
He's got a presence to him for sure. Chiseled features, and he's always got a smile on. Always. Doesn't matter what the situation is.
Oh, hell yeah. And what are they going to know about him? What's one thing that really stands out about Nate?
Man, he's the guy you want in your corner. You know, it doesn't matter if he's the biggest or the strongest or the fastest, but he'll make you feel like $1 million all day long. And he's that guy that'll give you that sort of that motivation and that inspiration that you need to just go and rally the charge.
I like that. So, Lynn, tell us about Ash. What's going on with Ash? What's she look like? What's she all about? What would your friends really know about Ash?
Well, first and foremost, Ashley looks like an old saddlebag beneath a cruddy old Stetson hat. But she still carries herself like a strong lady. She stands up tall, hefts her gun, and you can usually recognize her by, the fact that she'll be sitting in a bar having a drink, smoking her little stack of cigarettes that she likes to roll up and put beside her. Usually preceded by a cloud of smoke. Likes to keep that going. But yeah, I think everybody kind of knows that Ash is always the one to look for a good time, always the one to jump into trouble, but also always the one to have kind of a good handle on the situation. She likes to dip her toes into troubled waters and then hop right back out when it gets too nasty.
Damn. It's a lot of cigarettes, ladies and gentlemen. John, tell us about your peculiar choice of names for your character, who is also named John.
Well, John with the H, the old Western name of John. No. So John Check in the Dark, as he's often referred to as John Check in the Dark Ivy, gambler extraordinaire, at least he believes he is, always finds himself whether it's cards or betting on something, whether it's who's going to get punched first or what have you. Not quite as tall as Nate over there, but about 5'8", likes to look fairly dapper with his Stetson hat, pinstripe shirt under his duster, and 2 peacekeepers, one always at his side and then one at his belt, ready just in case anybody incorrectly accuses me of cheating at cards. You'll definitely notice me always either flipping through a deck of cards or, if I'm at the poker table, of course, flipping through a stack of chips, and that stack's gonna get bigger.
I'll be damned if you're not a handsome son of a bitch, John. If they ever do open up like pictures in Sears catalog, maybe you can quit this gambling thing and get you a modeling job. Let's talk about our last character. This is a big bruiser of a bastard if you've ever seen one. Dobbs. You're gonna call him Dobbs. If you call something else, you ain't gonna be able to talk for the rest of your life. So I'm gonna knock your jaw slap off. Byron Dobbs, tell us about your character, man.
Well, Dobbs is a very tall gentleman, about 6'4", as tall as they can stack meat or hay bales in the West, and he's about as smart as a stack of hay bales. And but the most defining trait about him is for some reason, he can't never seem to find his stupid horse. And, so he's always looking for his horse, normally at the most inopportune times. But he's only ever been called his first name by one person, and that was his mother before he was born. And that's why no one else is allowed to use his first name, because his mother never got to call him by his first name because she passed away in childbirth. So if she didn't get a chance, then ain't nobody else gonna either. And so his horse is the only person that's ever hit him as hard as he hits other people. And he's got two sidearms, single action though, so he's a fanner if he ever has to use them. But his trusty's a big double barrel. But I mean, if it comes, you better hope he uses guns, because if he puts them down, it's probably the end of your life. If he comes at you with his bare fists. That's about it. He likes poetry, but he doesn't like.
I was waiting for it. Would anybody know that though, Byron?
He likes haikus?
No, haikus are too strange. He likes poetry. Potree. Because spelling is not exactly his. I think he may have actually just barely beat Johnny Ringo at a spelling bee once. But that's about it for him. His horse's name is Murphy, or Murph as he calls him, because anything he can and will do to screw up shit is what he does.
Nice.
Well, I'll be damned if that damn horse hadn't caused this problem again there, Dobbs. Welcome aboard, everyone. So the next step in the Bonds episode is very important. And I'm going to ask who wants to go first.
I'll go first.
All right,
I regret this.
I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to ask you to take you a 4-sided die. That's one of them pyramids that they got on the dollar bill. Modern dollar bill. And I want you to just roll that son of a bitch. Tell me what you roll.
I mean, actually, I have my physical dice out. 1 sec.
You got to throw it up in the air so we can see
4.
it fall. You rolled a 5.
Oh, I just use rolls.org.
So
Not sponsored.
Is there such thing? So the way this works, right, is when I say blank, it's your job, or maybe the bonded person's job, to fill in the detail. It's always the player's job to pick the other character that this bond works with. So blank has saved my life a time or two. Hell, 5 if you count that time we was caught up with Paul and Timmy Jenkins. Them bastards was awful sore about me skipping that wedding. I guess you could say I owe him or her my life. I may not be the most on the level, but this is one debt I aim to repay. Who is that bond with?
I think based on that, if Nate's the speaker and makes everybody feel better, I feel like he might have been able to talk me out of a situation or two. So I'm going to go with Nate on that one, because I need a pretty big mouth to get me out of trouble.
Nice.
A little bit of charm.
skipping that wedding that you weren't aware of based on your background. So the way this is going to work is that you are going to receive an extra Benny, which you can use for a variety of things, rerolls and other things like that, anytime you act to protect Nate or Mike's character. But you both gain a special enemy major hindrance, which will reflect you having really pissed off the Jenkins family. Please, sir, pick your second one by way of random roll.
Oh, okay. Jenkins family, right? Jenkins.
Yep. It's been
Okay,
Paul and
just
Timmy,
making a note there.
assuming Paul is still alive. He's the one that's most angry.
Okay. Another D4.
Yes.
3.
Let me scroll 1 second here. That time when we was blank, that sumbitch blank went and blew up a goddamn wagon full of TNT with me damn near in it. I reckon I made out all right, but I can't always hear so good. So the question is, who are you going to attach this to? That person gets to pick what the hell you were doing when that explosion happened.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to go with Ash.
Okay, so that time when we was blank, Ash, that sumbitch Ash went and blew up a goddamn wagon of TNT with me nearly in it. What the hell were you guys doing? What was going on?
I think we was celebrating a particularly good show. We got a lot of cash and we was drinking.
That's so it wasn't a fight at all. You just got rowdy and blew up a thing of dynamite.
Oh yeah.
Sounds about right.
Felt like
It
it.
happens.
Seemed like we needed to liven up the atmosphere a bit. It was getting a little boring.
Yeah, you're damn right you did. So, John, your character will gain the hard of hearing minor hindrance. I didn't make you deaf. Major would have been, deafness. I didn't want to go that far.
Fair enough.
So, should I tell you guys about your special gifts as we go? You know what? Let's go. How about this, John? Pick the next player to sort out their bonds. Who's it gonna be?
Ooh, I'm gonna roll dice on this one. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Why did that roll a 4 on a D3?
Because you did it
Oh.
wrong.
That is Dobbs.
Oh.
Dobbs, awesome. So, Dobbs, I would like you to take the triangle-shaped dice, please, the pyramid of plastic, and roll it 2 times.
1.
You rolled a 1?
I did.
This is funny. I'm not quite sure, but ever since I signed that paper for blank, I keep getting these letters. They mostly talk about some place or another called Divvy Den, and that I own a whole bunch of them. He or she keeps telling me not to worry about it, and they'll sign it back to me later on. You know, speaking of blank, that sumbitch sure is well off. He's always got cash.
I think I'm going to have to attach that one to Nate because that seems right up his alley. And not that he would, willingly take advantage of Dobbs's lack of
Oh, sir.
intelligence.
I'm
However,
always an upstanding gentleman.
So Nate, you have succeeded in sort of gaining access to Dobbs' fantastic bank account. So Dobbs, you're going to be a wealthy man. And so far, though, you're not aware you're a wealthy man. And there's something we can talk about later when Dobbs comes around to realizing what you've done with all those thousands of dollars or whatever it amounts to.
I'm just keeping it safe for him. I have no intention. I will give every penny back. Those IOUs are as good as gold, guaranteed.
You
I think I know
goddamn
why
right.
I think I know why I can't afford a real horse now.
Oh man. Okay, so let's have your second roll, man. Who's
That'd be a 3.
All right. This is funny. I'd square off against the business end of a bull with my bare fists if it gave me so much as a side eye. There's one thing that had me quaking in my britches like nothing else. And that thing, ladies and gentlemen, is blank determined by. There's only one person that knows about this. and it's blank. Who is the person who knows about your horrific phobia?
Probably Ash.
What is it, Ash? What is Dobbs terrified of, and how'd you find out?
Man, I think Dobbs might have a healthy fear of an angry goose.
Tell me why. Tell me why. What? How'd that?
Well, you know, get those suckers angry and they come flying right at your face, claws and beaks and everything. You know, you can punch something big and solid to get your hands on one of those things.
Dobbs, what the hell were you doing with the goose, man? Can you tell us? Do you remember? What? How'd that work out?
I think I was trying to cook it. It looks a lot like a damn chicken, but he's got a long ass neck. And I thought I could catch it, but apparently, this damn thing's swimming. I didn't even know chickens could swim.
He came right after you. You tried to swim away, and now, man, here's the funny part about this: you have like a major phobia of geese. So
Hell yeah.
You are absolutely going to be. I got to figure out where you're going to be. That there are so many geese. But that's awesome. So
So sorry, I just couldn't think of anything else.
Ever since that trip to Canada,
oh shit. Yes. So Byron, tell us who's gonna determine their bonds next.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Lenore, since she makes me scared of geese.
I deserve that.
Ash, please take your pyramid-shaped die and roll. Let me know what you get.
If only I had my physical die in front of me, but I'm going to be using RPG Simple Dice. Again, no sponsorship. I got a 3.
A 3. I took a bullet for blank last summer. When he went and got himself into trouble with blank, you get to determine both of those. They dug it out, but it left me with a bit of a weather joint. I can tell you when it's going to rain, and once in a while, I can even sense trouble. Who'd you take a bullet for?
I think I might have taken a bullet for John.
Mr. John.
Appreciate that.
What did he get himself
Yeah.
into? What did he get himself into that got him almost shot?
I think he got caught trying to swindle somebody out of bet.
Sounds about right.
How'd you feel about that, John? When you there's this bang and this gun smoke, and of course Ash took it right in the leg, man. And but she took it just and kind of stood back up and took her own gun. How did you feel about that? Did you feel guilty, or were you like, thanks, bro?
Fair amount of guilt, just because nobody's actually ever done that for me before. Luckily, I got a smooth talker, but taking a bullet's a whole nother level of dedication there, and I would like to say I would do the same.
Well, I felt a little bad about the dynamite thing, so that might have been.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, that's
You're square
Fair.
as far as I'm concerned.
What do you say?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Ash will gain the danger sense edge for that one. So then let's have another one.
Alrighty. Sorry, I'm trying to write all this down so I don't forget. Because my brain's the size of a peanut sometimes. I got a 1.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. This is good. This one's good. That sumbitch is damn near a genius. Yeah, old blank figured out a way to use ghost rock to make my little cigarette so much better. Smoke one of them and it's almost as if I can do stuff with my mind. It might be a real habit if it weren't for this damn cough. Who's your dealer?
I think Nate's my dealer.
Done.
What?
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's what this is about. So a couple things. Smoking ghost rock basically has stimulated something deep in you. So you're going to gain arcane background, which is an edge that will allow you to be magical, but that won't kick in until you've advanced essentially one advancement. But you've also gained cancer, and so it's just this hack, this progressive hack. You're gonna live, but you gotta stay away from the ghost rock. It's actually ghost lung is what I wrote down here. GM to sort out what ghost lung is. So we'll do that. And Lenore, I'll ask you to help me figure that out. But So Nate, tell me, man, how did you get into selling what the hell, man?
First off, Ash, I'm mighty sorry. I had no intention of giving you the ghost lung. I find that a little bit of ghost rock just helps everybody to mellow out, and we all just get along. That's really what life's about, right? Making friends and having a good time.
Now, Nate, would you ever smoke that ghost rock yourself? Because you don't even drink alcohol.
No, sir, I don't partake with the ghost rock myself. I like to make sure that everyone of my constituents at the party has their fair share.
That's great.
Yeah, you're just such a smooth talker. You just talk me right on into that.
So
First one's free.
we will proceed along that storyline, right, to kind of sort out all the details there, and how that develops as well. I'll let you figure that out, Len.
I'm a drug dealer now. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, so that leaves.
I feel like I'm just getting like throwing all this stuff at you guys, and I'm like,
John lost hearing.
you're a drug dealer. Like,
Whatever.
So Nate, that leaves you, man. It's your turn to deal some despair or something, and then we'll talk about my special gifts that I have for you.
I rolled a 2.
You rolled a 2. All right. So, my house marm always said I had a tongue golden enough to be a preacher or the devil. Funny how the right words can inspire a fella or a gal when it counts. Like that time I told blank to blank when blank. This would be a hard one. Figure it out. Like that. Let's go with who. Who is it that you remember inspiring that really just drove home just how good you are?
Well, I feel like, whispering a few words of wisdom to my pal John, who is mighty crafty himself, is a bit of a feat all up in itself.
What'd you tell him to do? What was so special?
If
Go
it's
big.
ghost rock. If you're a pusher.
It was probably that time where I convinced him to take our recent haul and bet it all on red.
Ooh. And what happened? How'd that work out? I'm gonna ask you. You know what? I'm gonna ask you to roll a d6, and we'll decide how that worked out.
Yeah, because I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't there. I got a 4.
I'm gonna say it didn't work out the way you expected, and so on the fly, we're gonna modify this just a little bit. There is a positive effect, but you do owe Mr. John a little bit of cash to the tune of $500. You'll work it out later, but so
Got you, John. You know that I'm always good for it.
So meanwhile,
Yeah, I know you can pay me too.
He always makes sure I get all of my things.
Yeah, he does.
All come full circle.
So the character with this bond, basically you, Nate, will draw a Benny at the beginning of each session. So you will have one in the bank that you cannot use it yourself, but you can assign it to any of your allies before their turn ends. So you can fling it to them in the last resort to kind of help them and inspire them. But what I'm going to do is be very judgmental. You gotta mic it up and deliver an inspirational quote that makes me feel like you mean it.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
And that'll start every session. So you'll have that in the bank. Second die roll, please. Let your leg fall off or something.
I rolled a 3.
Let me see here. I spent a long night in the pokey for the bonded will choose. I'd never have thought blank would have pulled the cell window out of the wall with his or her horse in broad damn daylight. Good thing I shaved because that wanted poster is a right fine resemblance. Who pulled the jail cell wall out with their horse?
That's the one thing I really love about Dobbs, is that he's always looking out for his friends. He's a mighty fine man. Dobbs, I respect you. You are one hell of a son of a bitch.
I was going to do it with my bare hands, but luckily Murph was around.
Tell me something. How did that work out? How hard did you have to try to rip that wall out with Murph? Because he's never... How many times did he bite you before you even got on him that time?
Well, 6 or 7, but that's okay. It's all right.
So the maybe not so great news here is that both of you were wanted in a county. So unfortunately, Nate, you have a major wanted against you for breaking out of that cell. Dobbs, you had the good sense to cover your face. So on Nate's wanted poster, there's just this big sumbitch with a face mask on. You assume that must be you. And it
Looks like a
mentions,
horse.
it mentions something about a rabid horse as well in the wanted poster.
I don't know any of that rabbits. I don't know nothing about rabbits or them chickens with the long ass necks.
So be careful because this could work out poorly for you. Who is going to go first, Dobbs, in terms of finding out what my special gift is?
So I do have a quick question. Wasn't the person supposed to pick why he was in the joint?
Zoop. Yep, you're right.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so sorry, I missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think he was trying to sweet talk the sheriff's wife.
Listen, I had no idea she was involved with the sheriff. I would
Good.
never.
He's always got good intentions.
Yeah, absolutely. She was a nice, upstanding lady, and he's a lucky man.
That's so good. Got it. Captured for the memoriam here. Dobbs, who's going to find out about their special gift from the marshal first?
I think John,
John.
also known as John in both worlds.
So
Just easier that way.
exactly.
I'm glad
John.
I'm glad you keep it simple so that Dobbs can understand.
Yeah, there you go.
It's John and John. So we got this.
Like the restroom, John. Or John Doe.
So remember that the Deadlands is certainly, there's a little bit of a supernatural element there. And we all agreed we wanted to go a little steampunk. So I figured it would be interesting if I hooked you guys up with something, each of you, from me to you, that might help you survive the nonsense that I have in mind for you. At least the first couple sessions anyway. So John's character, this is pretty interesting. And I'm going to ask you, John, to tell us where John got this device from. It is a pocket watch with a mother of pearl inlaid face, and the numbers, the Roman numerals as it were, are actually made of ghost rock. Once per day, although this may not be entirely known to you, you decide. If set to high noon, this device will stop time for a single round. It will hold time. Now, the owner can use it at any time to perform sort of standard actions. Everybody else is moving very slowly. You cannot attack. That is the only rule. You cannot attack. But you can do other weird shit that you decide to do. One round, one action. And then wherever you're at when that action ends is how that plays out. Where'd you
You said at high noon?
At high noon.
You
Is
set
that-
the watch to high noon?
I can set the watch to high noon. or
Yeah, you
does it
can
have
set
be
the watch to
noon?
high noon once a day.
Okay, just checking.
It is powered by specially prepared ghost rock. You may not even really understand this device. You have 2 charges left before you have to sort out how you might go and recharge it. So use it wisely.
Luckily, you know a guy.
That's so true. Just sprinkle some ghost rock on it.
Turns out,
Definitely going to call out, it's high noon, whenever it is. goes off.
obviously,
You have
if
to
you
do
don't,
that.
then you're not doing it right.
I mean, come
Yeah, I mean, what are you even here for?
on. I won that in a poker match. One that I was down pretty much without any chips left against a man in a white hat. And I won it
that
from
guy.
him. Yes.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Hopefully
Yeah.
that doesn't convolute things too much for you.
Yeah, no, I like that. That's so good. More to say about your pocket watch. Who's next? John. Who's
We're going to go with Dobbs.
Dobbs. Oh, Dobbs. Dobbs. So there ain't nothing more satisfying than the sound of an old boy hitting the ground. When he takes a few wallops to the jaw and things keep going south, there's always Jennifer. You have a spring-loaded mechanism. It's a leather forearm strap tight to your forearm. And with just the right rotation of your wrist, it produces quite a blade emblazoned with the name Jennifer. There's a little glass bottle toward the wrist parts, but you know this is Dobbs, so he doesn't really know what that's for. In fact, he's figured out he can use that as a flask. He has to drink. But if he's broke, it works out pretty well. Couple questions, Dobbs. Who is Jennifer, and where'd you get this thing?
Well, I don't know who Jennifer is, but I know it was in that saddlebag that Murph brought to me that one morning when I was looking for him. I'm not really sure where he got it, but it belonged to some there, fella.
Your horse went from being a disobedient animal to a fucking larcenous. That's so good. That's amazing.
He stole from Altair.
I told you he knows how to like untie himself and stuff like that. So that's why he's never like where I want him to be.
I think Murph is secretly a savant. Like he's just like this brilliant horse, and Dobbs is just too slow to like understand how amazing his horse is.
Yeah.
He also leans to the left a little bit. There's some kind of scoliosis type thing that the doc said he had.
Got a fucking horse with scoliosis.
The horse is becoming a main character.
My God.
Great.
He's gonna outlive us all.
He's going to be
Guaranteed.
the hero of the story.
Or the villain.
Yes,
Yeah.
ultimately the horse.
The horse stands up straight. It was me the whole time.
It's Mr. Ed. It's actually Mr. Ed.
The horse can only turn right, says the chat. That's so good. That's so good. It takes him a long time to get places.
Eventually he'll be heading left.
Dobbs, tell me who should find out about their gift next?
Go with Lenore.
Len, Ash, you have this thing called the Prospector's Eye. It's a monocle with 3 lenses. One, you figured out, you're pretty sure, it could be just you. It makes shooting even easier. Every once in a while, for that one special shot, you use that for a +2 bonus. One seems to make that ghost rock stuff just kind of glow when you were tinkering around one night, putting it over your eye, and you noticed that Nate fucking lit up like a Christmas tree, a little dust on his hands and dust on his...
But none on my face. There was never any on my face.
Never on his face. So clean. But yeah, so it seems like you can use this to find this ghost rock, which, by the way, is kind of important in this game. And the third one you're not so sure about. It's cracked, and it's got a little bit of a red tint to it. And the only thing you know is the last time you were fooling with it at camp, you flipped it down, and the sun shined through the back of it and burned the living shit out of your hand. Where the hell did you get this
Still
contraption?
Got that scar.
Yeah. Where'd you get this thing from?
Well, I've done some traveling in my day, and sometimes I find myself in the company of some strange folk out there on the road, especially ones who like to put on a show like I do. I think one day I got a little bit curious, and I might have broken into somebody's wagon. Some of those tinkerer types, had a couple drinks and just got bored, so I got curious. And I started looking around in the caravan, and there it was. And it just looked like it might be a good fit, so I put it on, and then I heard a noise, and I had a scram. So I ended up with it.
Is anybody else starting to realize that Ash is a bit of a shit starter? She blows up wagons when she's drunk. She breaks and enters. That's amazing. And so you've had it ever since. And I'm sure you're going to return it one day, right?
Oh yeah, if I ever see, the old doc out on the road, I'm sure I'll give it back to him. But I don't even know if he noticed it's gone. He didn't see me. I don't think he saw me leave. And I was a little bit younger, a little bit more spry back in that day. So
You're like, that was like 77 years ago. That's so
Seems like, seems like,
awesome. So that leaves Nate. So Nate, you have yourself a cane. This cane can be loaded with a single shotgun shell and fired by twisting the handle respectively to the left. If turned around, though, and used as a bat to bash the goddamn skull of that sumbitch in, it's going to bring you +1 to fighting, 1d6 damage. But then every person you kill with this cane, every single person, is going to give old Nate +1 to soul for 6 hours and 66 minutes, courtesy of old Scratch. Where the hell did you get this cane?
Oh, it pains me to say that I got it off of a very, very dear friend of mine that I met earlier that evening at the bar. He took himself a tumble, poor son of a bitch, right off the edge of a cliff. And I dare say that I keep this cane close by in remembrance of him. I want to honor his memory.
What have you told your
Was
friends
he
about
near
this
the
cane?
cliff when you met him?
No, we were having drinks at the bar. Well, he was. And we decided to go out for a bit of a walk. And, well, as the night takes you, we didn't really have a destination in mind. We were just chatting, just like old friends. Me and, what's his name?
Ralph.
Ralph.
The
That
old
might have
friend.
been it. Yeah, we were real good friends. Man, I respect the hell out of that man. I'd never let this cane go.
How'd you find out what it could do? What does it feel like when you beat a man down with that thing?
I can tell you.